What's up, everybody, and welcome back to SoCal Exploring. But we're here with a new show, the Exploring Disney podcast. I almost forgot the name of our own show. This is our new podcast. Here with me today is Savannah, as you guys see in the vlogs and everything. So, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Savannah.
I mean, you guys see her in the vlogs, in the Disney vlogs at least, or most vlogs. So, this is something new. I mean, we've filmed podcasts before. You're gonna see me always look towards that way because that's where Savannah's sitting. But I'll try my best to kind of look at you guys sometimes. But it's really, I wanted to start a podcast just themed around Disney, because I have the Horror Nights Unscripted, and I feel like I need a Disney podcast because I make plenty of Disney videos. I need a Disney podcast. I need somewhere where we can talk about small topics in a lengthy amount. And obviously, me and you are the ones who go to Disney all the time, so we're used to it. We miss our beloved Disneyland. So we got a couple things to talk about today. Disney Plus stuff. We have some park updates, some not so good park updates, but what should they do? What should they do down below?
They should subscribe and like the video.
Yeah.
And click all the links that Scott puts in the description.
Yes, subscribe, as she said. If you guys are listening to this on Spotify or any Apple Podcasts, any streaming platform, we do have a video version, so you guys will hear us reference to YouTube a lot. We have a video version on YouTube, youtube.com/SoCalExploring. But if you are listening on Spotify or anything, click the follow button, subscribe button, wherever, so you don't miss when the Exploring Disney podcast. That's gonna take a while for me to get used to, because I just used to saying the Keep Exploring, so now it's the Exploring Disney podcast. Wanted to make it simple, and as you guys, I'm sure you see on the screen, it's a nice logo that I did spend some time on it. Had to make it good, had to have Savannah's advice on it, which we went through many trials and errors, but and by now it is already up on our merch shop, which is a link down in the description. As Savannah said, click all the links, you can find all our socials down there, and it's a link down in the description. It's on our TeePublic shop for t-shirts, stickers, magnets, sweatshirts. Not really that you need a sweatshirt right now.
Everything,
yeah, except for hats. I wish we had hats and pins, but that's a whole separate thing. Also, one thing before we get into the Disney stuff, I know this is kind of weird because I'm just promoting everything right now, is we have equipped the timestamps, so if you wanted to skip to a certain topic in the YouTube video, I've done timestamps where there's a new feature where you can kind of scroll at the bottom of it and get to that exact topic when we start talking about it. So that's cool. So if you wanted to check out all the topics and you wanted to skip to a certain topic, then there's that option available. But let's get right into it. And you hear the pin clicking because I'm taking notes right now, which is Disney Plus. What happened? What did they announce?
That Mulan will be available on Disney Plus for $30.
$29.99. That is exact.
My bad.
But yes, $30. You think they're gonna tax that on the app?
Probably. They'll
just tax it to be $32.
Yeah.
So the thing is one thing that I was talking about is I think it's. I'm all for this, right? Because I don't think it should have been at $30. I think it should have been at $20. But what's your opinion? What's your opinion on the price point?
I don't think it's that bad. I think it's $30 is $30.
And don't be biased for the movie, because I know you're not excited for the movie.
Yeah, it's an okay movie, but I don't think it's that bad. I feel like that's the same amount you pay for a regular, if you bought a movie on DVD. So I don't think it's that bad.
Wait, I think it'd be $23?
Yeah, something like that. So I think 19 definitely would have been better. I feel $19.99 would have been a lot more people would have bought it, but I still feel it's Disney, so everyone's gonna probably still buy it even though it's $30. But then since it is on Disney Plus, why wouldn't you just wait for free with your subscription?
Oh, you mean wait for it to go out?
Yeah.
Well, see, because it was originally supposed to open in May, open at theaters. and now it's what, September, I forget, September something, I don't know the exact date, but it's September something that it's getting released. And one of the things is like, people are concerned that Disney Plus is gonna turn into an
in-app purchase,
app or streaming service or anything like that, like, all these other places are doing.
Amazon Prime,
Hulu, the new Universal and Peacock Premium. So there's a lot like that besides Netflix and Disney Plus. As far as I know, you don't have to pay for anything on Netflix except for the subscription. And Netflix and Disney Plus are really the two only ones. So I guess people's concern here is that Disney Plus will turn into an in-app purchase thing, which is a concern because I don't want it to. Like, I want to be able to enjoy the streaming service as it is, but also if they were to do these releases on their own separate thing, because this one hasn't been released in theaters at all. Nobody's seen it besides the people behind the scenes. So I think that it's a good value, especially because it's digitally. Now, people will argue that you can buy the movie on physically for $19.99, but at the end of the day, you're getting this digitally and getting to watch it whenever. Which, did you ever find out if it was a rental or a purchase?
No, I don't know. I thought it was. I read somewhere that was a rental, but then you said it wasn't, so I don't know.
Yeah, because I saw somewhere that it was, you get it all the time, and you can just watch it, and it stays on your Disney Plus account all the time. So that if that is true, then I think that the $29 price point is worth it. But if it's not, like what Amazon Prime is like 48 hours.
Yeah.
But then again, their movies are like $5. But if it's just a rental price, then what's Disney doing? Like what makes them think that that's okay to charge $29.99 for a rental price for what, 24 hours? I'd say maybe like a whole week. I don't know. I think the one concerning thing is the in-app purchasing. But I could see this. Do you think that it will be? Do you think that they'll charge more for bigger blockbuster movies like Marvel movies, or do you think they'll stay the same?
No, I think once it's all over, like
the pandemic.
Yeah, once it ends, I think they'll stay with like releasing the movies that will like the entire service will be like included in whatever the monthly payment is.
Well, the thing is,
you get what I'm saying?
What are you talking about?
Like, I don't think they're gonna charge for more movies like this again in the future unless we're still in the pandemic.
Well, hopefully.
That's what I think.
Yeah, because you saw, like, well, I think Universal was the first to do it, where it was like, oh, we're releasing The Hunt, Trolls and everything digitally for, it was like $30 too, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people have said that they're going to do strictly, like, a lot of companies have said they're going to do strictly digital releases now. But will that change when the theaters open up? Like you said, hopefully they do go back in theaters, because I just think that it's more of a value to go to the theaters. And if you have a family, then going to the theater or buying the movie digitally on Disney Plus is a lot more worth it, especially if it spreads across all accounts. Like, I pay for our Disney Plus account, and it's like I have 4 family members that all use it. And so if it goes cross-profile, then that will be a worth value, because then you don't have to pay for 6, 7, 5 movie tickets, depending on how big your family is. So, I don't know. It's one of those things that is going to be interesting to see how it happens. Any last thoughts on Disney Plus?
No.
I'm just concerned about it. I'm happy about it. Am I going to pay $30 for Mulan? Probably. I wish that they would release Black Widow. I know you're not big into Marvel, but
I know Avengers, and that's like it.
Yeah, but I wish that they released Black Widow already. One small topic: what's going on over at Disney World right now?
I don't know what is.
Well, you tell me about that Splash Mountain situation. No, give us a little history to this about the Jungle Cruise situation, and then talk about Splash.
Yeah, so I don't know like a couple months, no, like a year ago. Something like that. Like,
was it before? It was before the quarantine.
Yeah.
I think it was this year. Maybe.
Sometime within the past year, the Jungle Cruise in Disney World sank. It was sinking. Like, it was overflowing with water, obviously, and it was sinking, and they had to evacuate that boat. And then a couple weeks ago, Splash Mountain did the same thing. It started overflowing with water and started all sinking like in the back, so the people to like jump out of their boat to avoid like going down.
I don't know if you saw the pictures of it, but the water was just extremely overflowed.
Oh yeah, it was like all in there, like it was sunken. Like the back was like totally
sunken. Then the water level was just because there was I believe there's a log in front that was still afloat, but the water level in that area where the sunken one was just seemed to be super super high. And then I was watching a video on Splash Mountain at Magic Kingdom as of recently, and it just seemed like the water level was so high compared to what it should normally be. Now, I don't remember how Disneyland's is because we haven't been to Disneyland in a whole 4 months.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, that the water level was never that high. So if you guys didn't see the picture, like exactly like Savannah said, it was sunken. It's like the back of the boat.
It was completely underwater.
You think? I thought like only half of it was. Though.
Yeah, the back. That's what I'm saying. The back was like fully underwater, but the front was still kind of like sticking out.
Oh, okay, yeah. So the front was still a little bit above the back. If you were sitting in the back seat, the water would be like up to here, and if you were sitting in the front seat, then it'd be probably up to your knees. So the people automatically, the guests, and I would do this too, got out of the log when it started sinking. And I understand from a cast member's point of view or any person that works in attractions, if you're getting out of the ride vehicle, it creates a safety hazard. But there has to be a limit to it. Like, for example, if they shut the ride down and there was a fire in the ride, would you just sit in the log?
Yeah, definitely not.
Exactly.
I go running wherever I can.
Exactly. So it's one of the videos that has been going viral is the guests are outside of the log. The ones in front are still sitting inside the log, like I said, because they didn't go down.
They didn't get affected as much.
Oh no, I'm talking about the log in front, not the ones in the front row.
Yeah.
So the log in front, they were still sitting in it because they didn't go down. But the ones who actually sunk, they were all out of the log, and rightfully so. They got out, they were standing there on the side, and one of the cast members was yelling, like, saying how it's a safety hazard, and next time they shouldn't do that. But if they would have stayed in the log, then they would have drowned, essentially, because it just would have gone more. So what's your next
would have added more weight to, like, keep going down to, like, the whole log down to the bottom.
Especially, like, I don't know if there was, like, kids, I don't always saw it was just a log, so I don't know if there was kids on board or anything, but if there's a small child on board, then they're definitely going to go right underneath the water.
Yeah.
So it's not very safe at all. It's a weird, though, to know that a cast member would say that. And like I said, I understand their point of view. Yeah, concern. And definitely the safety is number one priority. But in this case, the safety aspect of it was to get out with a log.
Yeah.
But like you said, with Jungle Cruise, it happened too. So what's next?
There's nowhere. Oh, I was gonna say. I was like, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah, well, Jungle Cruise. Yeah, there was nowhere to go. I forgot how I think that they just brought like smaller boats out there, or probably another raft. But with Jungle Cruise, it was a little bit. Actually, no, I wasn't there, so I couldn't really say anything. But from the pictures, it looked like it was. No, it was definitely more of a pain on Jungle Cruise. I feel like. What? Because you were strained in the middle.
Yeah, you had to like stand on your like at the very top, try not to get like soaked.
Whereas
like everyone was standing on their tippy toes. I remember the photos. Like,
they're sitting on the side of the railings too. Whereas Splash, it's like you can
just kind of jump over.
Unless you were in a part that there was nowhere to go, then you'd be screwed.
Yeah. Unless
you'd have to swim. I wonder what Disney offered them, like fast passes.
That's what I ran when we broke down on Pirates that one time. I was like, so like, how are we gonna get out if they can't get it back up? If they got it back up.
We've been asking talking or joking around like what's gonna be next at Disney World. So the Jungle Cruise, and then it was Splash. Now that we bring up Pirates, I could see it being Pirates. Right. Could you imagine Pirates though? Because you can bring like your baby on that ride.
Yeah.
You just have to get off with their baby to freaking sinking ships, and it really play into the storyline a lot more.
Oh my gosh.
But with Pirates, me and Savannah both know from experience, they don't evac you off Pirates if it breaks down. They literally just turn it off and on, off and on. So, I don't know. I think that it's Pirates next. Hopefully it's nothing. I don't wish any danger upon anybody. But hopefully it's... I was going to say hopefully it's Pirates. If it's going to be one... No. I'm not... That's dumb, Scott. Don't say that. Yeah, just hopefully everyone stays safe. And hopefully this doesn't happen again, because
Scott's keeping his fingers crossed for when he goes.
Yeah, that was what we're seeing. You know, it is one of those things that's like, at what point does it get to, like, is there something going wrong at Magic Kingdom or Disney World in general that this is happening? Are there procedures that aren't being taken seriously enough, or is it just a coincidence?
Coincidence.
You think it's a coincidence?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think it's a coincidence right now, but if another ride sinks or something like this happens, I don't think it's a coincidence. I just think that whoever the water technician is, or whoever controls the water, how much water goes into the rides, I think that they're to blame, and that there's something fishy going on. There's something in the water. That was a good one, right?
Sure.
Okay, so now what I want to talk about is how Disneyland is going to handle this. Like, because Disney World has been open for what, a month now?
I feel like it's been more than a month, but I don't know. Yeah, a month.
A month, yeah. So, Disney World, obviously, we've seen the precautions, we've seen the COVID guidelines, we've seen everything. How is Disneyland going to handle it? They're going to handle it better or worse?
Worse. Yeah, I just feel like it's going to be worse. Like, Disneyland, usually, like, they handle everything just a little bit worse than Disney World, I feel. But it'll get better. Like, within, like, 2 days, it'll get better, I feel like. It'll just be, like, a rough 2 days, and then, like, after that, I think we'll be good.
Well, look at how Rise was.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of.
Yeah. Like, Rise of the Resistance, for those of you guys who don't know, was 10 times more hectic and popular at Disneyland than it was in Disney World. And Disney World's open first at Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
10 times more hectic at Disneyland. We're just unorganized, and nobody knew anything. Whereas I believe at Hollywood Studios they were giving some information out. But at Disneyland they were giving no information out at all. You had people lined up at what? The earliest was like midnight?
Yeah.
Toy Story opened at midnight, huh?
Yeah, Toy Story, it opened at midnight. But people were there like literally when the park closed. Like they just stayed.
Yeah.
From the day before.
And they just camped out in the front.
Yeah.
So here's why I always say, and I always talk about this too, is like Disneyland, I feel like it just has more of a loyal fan base than Disney World does, because, you know, it's in Anaheim, it's smaller, and I guess that has to do with it too. It's smaller. There's more places to go at Disney World compared to Disneyland, where like everybody's just gonna show up in the Esplanade right there. So I definitely think what you said is true. The first 2 days or so are gonna be a little bit rough, and then after that will get better. Yeah. I think that, you know what I'm interested to see is how they're going to separate the Fantasyland attractions with plexiglass. Because think of it, Pinocchio, think of the Pinocchio queue. That thing is so tight.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were talking about the sentence.
No, I was trying to think which one it was.
So there's Pinocchio, there's Mr. Toad, and then there's...
Mr. Toad will be good.
Yeah, because they can just cut off some of the chains.
Yeah.
And then Peter Pan, that'll be good too.
Yeah.
It's practically all outside. But I know for a fact Pinocchio, Snow White will be okay too. They need to finish Snow White. Because that thing needs to just be open by the time we get back. Pinocchio though, one of the rides that I'm concerned about for the queue.
Close it.
Yeah, right? Or just like completely wrap the line outside.
But Fantasyland's already so packed in general, like...
Well, here's another thing to counter that is, like, how packed is it going to be when Disneyland opens compared to Disney World? Because, like, we already talked about the hecticness, but will those same low crowds be at Disneyland since they'll have a lower cap space?
I still feel like it's going to be damn...
Do you think people are going to try to line up and be like,
I still
go in?
feel like it's going to be chaotic the first week. No matter, like... There's gonna be everyone. Like, people are dumb. Like, I'm sorry, but some people are dumb, so they'll come without a reservation or something, and it's just gonna be...
They're gonna try to get in.
It's gonna be packed with people.
Especially in the morning, too. Everyone who has a reservation is gonna try to get in the morning.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna have the people, like you said, the dumb people who are showing up thinking that they can somehow get into the parks without a reservation. I don't know if that was an issue with Disney World. Actually, Magic Kingdom, I think on think on like one of the first days it was a little bit rough, but it was rough on the outside. It wasn't rough on the inside. Like it was around like 12 o'clock and everyone was trying to get in.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, it slowly started to die down, and I saw people like taking pictures, like, oh look, they're handling it wrong. They shouldn't be open. But I was literally just for an hour, and it was their first day. I think that's how Disneyland's gonna be, except for nobody's gonna listen.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna be packed in, because Floridians are pretty dumb. But Californians just think that, like, a lot of people who live in California feel like they're entitled to stuff.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, because this is what I always say. The people in California who are Disney fans, some of them, and I'm not saying all of them, but some of them feel like they're entitled to stuff. I mean, like, the cast, like, they'll treat cast members like crap. And we've seen it firsthand, right?
Yeah.
And to be fair, there are some cast members that don't give the great customer service that we expect when you go into these parks. But there's people who call themselves Disney fans who treat cast members like crap. They treat the environment like crap. Throw the trash on the floor. They just don't respect the parks at all. But they still expect to be given everything by Disney and make everything easy by Disney.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like that's how opening day is going to be, really. It's those people. And of course all the bloggers and all the Disney moms and the Disney families and the people who are just normal like me and you. Although we're bloggers, so I guess that we can fall in that category. Do you think that people are going to follow the rules at Disneyland compared to Disney World? What is your percentage ratio?
What do you mean? For what? What to
okay,
what?
so we'll say 100% of I'm going to say 100%, right?
Yeah, I know.
Think of Disney World and Disneyland. Give me a percentage of the amount of people that were going to wear the mask at Disneyland compared to Disney World.
I don't know how Disney World's doing right now. Like, I feel like people wearing their masks there.
Well, think of the videos that we've been watching.
I've seen Tim.
Seen Tim?
So, I feel like everyone's wearing a mask. Like, I haven't really seen anyone without it. Like, when I see, like, the crowd view. I feel like they're like a good 85. California, I go to good like 70.
70?
Good C.
That's fair enough. But I think that will be in the first couple weeks.
I think that'll stay.
Really?
Even when we went to downtown Disney, like, people were still walking around. We saw the people walking around that weren't wanting to wear their masks and stuff.
Well, yeah, but the second time I went 2 weeks after, it was a little bit better, but it was still, people weren't wearing their masks. Definitely on the first day, though. The first day was just ridiculous. And I guess we can kind of transition into that a little bit more, is downtown Disney and our experience with it, because I gave my experience on the vlog and everything, but how comfortable did you feel on the second trip compared to the first?
I felt well, on the first trip I felt fine myself. I thought it was pretty damn crowded, but I didn't think it felt like super unsafe. I mean,
here, so take off the uncomfortable part. How they're handling it.
Okay, they weren't handling it very well. They weren't really enforcing anything. A lot of people just walking around doing whatever they want. Like, the lines, like, because that day was crazy. There was a line for everything, like, even to eat, and like there was no one walking around making sure like people were like 6 feet apart. Like, we had people like right behind us in line. Compared to the second time we went, well, it was a lot less busier, so I feel like you can't really tell.
What are we going on Wednesday?
Yeah, Thursday.
I
feel like I can't compare it equally, because if there was that many people, would they enforce it the same way? I don't know. But I felt like they did do a better job, because I did see security stop a couple people along the way and like remind them to wear their mask, or like if they are eating, to like take a seat, or like stand in a stationary place. But yeah, I saw them actually enforcing it versus the first time I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I think, you have to counter with that point too, is the fact that it was a lower crowd this time, so it's kind of hard to judge it. But from what I could see and from how I felt, it seemed like cast members and security were just doing a better job this time compared to where it was opening day, which is all hell breaks loose, as we know with the Simba parking lot situation that I was pissed about, and the just the World of Disney line, which wrapped through the Esplanade, like, until they implemented the virtual queue. I think that the standby line worked a little bit better, though, because, what was it, 15-20 minutes that we waited? think it was 20.
I think it was 20.
Yeah, because it was 19. You were 1 minute off. But I think that the standby was better. Because the virtual line, what did we wait? Like 2 hours?
Yeah, we waited like 2 hours.
Yeah, we waited 2. And, that was on opening day, again, counter to that point. But still, 2 hours for a store. And yeah, I guess you could say that we didn't really have to wait. But we still were trying to find stuff to do around Downtown Disney because you can't spend 2 hours at Downtown Disney unless you're eating, which is what we did. We ate for like 40 minutes. And we had to wait in that line to get that food too.
For like 40 minutes.
Exactly. But like with that, the food didn't really, or with Earl's Sandwich when we went again the last week, there was not a line at all.
It was dead. There was nobody in line.
And we ate at Tortilla Joe's, so that was cool. It was very nice and felt very comfortable. They are doing really good over there, and I'm curious to see how they release new mask. I got my Haunted Mansion mask, which I absolutely love. I mean, I wear this thing like almost everywhere now. This is literally my favorite mask, and I don't know if it's gonna focus. There it is, right there. I'm sorry for you Spotify listeners and Apple Podcast listeners, but the new masks are cool. I like them. They just released a large and extra large, so if you have, I have like a very tiny face because I'm a tiny man, I guess you could say. So, I mean, but even this is like snug on me, This is really snug. So, yeah.
Yeah, we ordered mediums. I still need to return them.
Oh my god, yeah, we did order mediums. Like, what did we order? When did we order those?
April?
April,
April,
we got
May.
them barely, and they're mediums, and they're so tiny. Like, they're probably meant for 12-year-olds, I think. I'd say. No, younger. Yeah, younger than probably like 8-year-olds. They're really, really small. And if you notice the one thing, and this is one thing that we noticed there at World of Disney, is they are advertising youth medium when in reality it's just adult medium. But they look like youth.
They changed it to youth because even on the website I looked to go back at the masks that we have purchased, and now it says youth medium on there and then adult large, like advertising like the mediums for youth, like kids. And then the adult large is for adults. So I'm like, why couldn't you advertise that when we bought them so we didn't buy the medium?
No, but they have released a large and extra large, which is probably the best size for any adult to get. Like I said, this one's a little bit snug. I probably would have gotten a large, extra large.
It's just extra large.
Oh, extra large, huh? Yeah. It's not a mix. So this is just a large, and the other one is extra large. I definitely recommend if you're an adult to get the extra large, though. Because this one is just a little bit snug.
I feel like the top band on that like goes into your nose too much and hurts like the tops of your ears.
Because I feel like the size is just fine, right? Wrapping around my face. But like you said, the top band is really tight and the ear part too.
Yeah.
So I would like that, but at the same size.
Good.
Yeah.
But it's just the band. I feel like
I guess you can't get the best of both worlds with Disney. Definitely favorite though. Never not. It's my favorite. Definitely my favorite mask. Any other updates that you can think of for this week? We don't know how frequently we're going to try to film these, but definitely bi-weekly, maybe twice a month. We don't know yet. Obviously, when I started filming Horror Nights Unscripted with Adrian, we said like once every month, and that turned into one every week. So who knows? It's obviously a lot easier for me and Savannah to film in person than virtually, so it'll be a lot easier scheduling wise. We don't know though. Follow our socials so you guys are keeping up to date with when there's a new Exploring Disney podcast out. And if you're new here, subscribe. Follow us on Spotify, follow us on Apple. The podcast should be available on all streaming platforms, and if you guys are listening on one of those streaming platforms, then make sure to come check out the YouTube version. Like I said, you can purchase some Exploring Disney podcast merchandise by clicking the TeePublic link down below in the description, and I hope that you guys enjoyed the first episode. Also enjoying the little timestamp things. So, yeah, this was kind of episode 1. It was episode 1. But kind of the pilot to our brand new show that we're running here, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. My name is Scott.
And I'm Savannah.
And, yeah, we'll get used to it. And as episodes go by, we'll just bounce right off each other, and it's going to be a good podcast. I'm excited. I'm excited to continue this, and just excited for the future. Thank you guys for everyone who's been supporting us. It's means a lot. With that being said, you guys have been watching SoCal Exploring, listening to the Exploring Disney podcast, and as always, positivity is key. We'll keep you, or remember to keep exploring. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody, and stay safe.